Joining us tonight, and stay tuned for the main event.
It's time now for the main event.
Gentlemen, for all intensive purposes, I want you to know that I am not intending to be a divisive person. It will seem like I am, but we have to understand that there are questions that remain in the air. Even after the reporters have put away their cameras, even after the delegates and other elected officials have made their remarks, even after the protesters of issues supposedly destroying the very fabric of our freedom and liberty have stopped screaming, yes, once they have finished complaining and screaming through bullhorns at the White House, questions still remain. Unfortunately, at this point, we are seemingly left with a majority of a population that is neither rational, moral, nor responsible in how we conduct ourselves. We are constantly swimming in a state of absolute confusion. We are not a body of liberty and freedom, and if we are, then you can imagine how ridiculous that hideous creature would look walking down the high street, with its teeth biting its arm, the hand pinching the knee, the foot struggling to kick its own hinder quarter. No, we're not a family of the free. One state does not share the morals of the next, and every state is swiftly reducing its own ability to stand up for the freedom of its people. They surrender by letting the leaders at the White House tell them what they must do. Every single year, and for all the years of my life, I have had the absolute displeasure of watching the liberal media show me pictures of liberal students on liberal campuses shout and hiss about the evils of conservatives, about the racism, the hatred, the greed, and then swiftly about face and start screaming to the other half of the TV channels, "We demand more money. If you do not agree with us, then you, sir, are a bigot. We demand tolerance. Down with the institution. Now we need the institution," and so on and so forth. The conservatives have not done much better. They are more quiet than the liberals and well kept. But they have said to themselves, the tactics of the liberals have worked. Let us do the things they do, and perhaps our people will rally behind us. The conservatives are weak and conduct far too many deals behind closed doors with their liberal counterparts. They, the people we elect, have all realized that the easiest path to success in this field is to make the majority of their monies through backdoor deals, which then, of course, leaves the entire nation swimming in an ocean of special interest funding. The government pays for my cigarettes, my rent, my medical. Who cares if I'm using tax dollars? They said I could. It would never occur to a liberal that they should not do something. If you can, you should, because what you want makes you smile, and smiling is good. And every single year, special interest and entitlement programs are lifted up to the great mother, the Capitol Hill Club, which they quickly snatch up and add the word "needed" to the title of the proposal, and the liberals believe them and vote for the filthy self-damning act, leaving us with even less liberty. Our men are no longer the men of old, fine upstanding men that have strong morals, men that believe in love and sacrifice. Even at this moment, as you listen to my simple meanderings, there is a swiftly growing group of men that are spending their every energy trying to destroy the abhorrent creature that feminism has become. They hate that feminism tells women that they are not smart enough to stand up for themselves. They hate that feminism does not allow for the rights of men. And even more, they hate that feminism has left the courtrooms, the schools, and the churches of our great nation anesthetized by the absolute rainbow of poisonous gases that flow and drip from the snarled grins of the icy, evil, withered, old, cackling faces of hatred that are our feminist mothers. If you have a penis, then you are useless to the mother machine that feminism has become. And if you have a vagina, then you are too stupid to protect yourself from the evils of men. They claim that they are here to be a source of love to the broken-hearted woman. But they have proven themselves to be among the world's greatest sources of contention, lies, and putrid hate, and the most absolutely detestable form of dissension. Yes, questions remain. What are you going to do? What are you thinking? What are you going to say? Are you going to stand up for something greater than yourselves? Or do you think that self-pleasure, self-gratification are the most notable of causes? Do you plan to make all people around you feel guilty if they do not give you monies and other donations for your little pet projects? Or are you going to surrender all that you have for something greater than your own desire? Are you going to pretend that you are part of the family of freedom, the character of freedom? Then you will perpetuate the agony that the emaciated creature that bites its own hide and stomps on its own foot experiences every day. If we're going to make a return to strength and health and, yes, freedom, then each one of us is going to have to put our own issues on a sacrificial altar, die to ourselves, pick up our own cross, each one of us grab our own thing that holds us accountable, and consider all peoples in love. Think about them in a loving way. I hope that they are okay. I love this person enough to want that they are strong. I hope that they feel valuable. Don't be part of liberal hate and displeasure. And don't hide in the back rooms conducting backdoor deals like the right. Step out into the sun with me. Tell people that there is a greater freedom than being a slave to feminism, socialism, communism, Marxism, liberalism, conservatism. A liberal feministic society must have labels for all the people within her borders. It makes it easier for her to control them. But I tell you that the right wise human has no nickname. He does not need to cling to those self-centered programs or groups. He does not tell himself, I deserve it. All happiness belongs to me. No. He says to himself, I have the right to pursue happiness. And happiness for me is to sacrifice my desires to fight for the health and well-being of my brothers, to put down communism, socialism, and feminism, and pick up the cross of self-sacrifice. That is why I am speaking to you today. You are my brother on this planet. You may feel like you are not, but the fact of the matter is this. If you truly want to pursue happiness and live a life of real freedom, then throw all the titles out the door. Throw them out on their ear. Preach against feminism and socialism and all the other isms you can find. You're not a title. You're a man, damn it! I don't want you to waste your time writing your representatives or calling your congressmen. Get out there and put skin in the game. Talk to your local man and tell him the truth, that you are really tired of all these nonsensical titles that make you feel like you're nothing more than a number in a group. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. Don't be one of those idiots that has an ist at the end of his or her name. Be human and give yourself up. You will be surprised at how loved you will be for doing so. I've never seen any of these ists or isms truly satisfied by reaching their goals. Have you? Really? Don't worry. They'll be back next year with more desires and more demands. And they are all going to tell you that you are a horrible person if you disagree with them. So tell me exactly, what is it that you are going to do? You have the chance to use your tongue for good and speak power into your sphere of influence, to move forward, to put out all of this hatred and put it all behind you and forge a new path, the path that was written into our most sacred of documents. It's there, but somewhere along the line you let people tell you that you aren't valuable enough to think on your own, that you're no good. And that's not true! You are worth the most precious sacrifice that has ever been given in human history, that a man would lay down his life to change the eternal outcome of somebody else. So let's stop blaming everybody else for what's happened here. I'm here on this radio show to try to make a difference, not for you, but for myself. And every time I turn my mind inward, you are at the center of it, my fellow man. And I want you to know that you are worth all the trouble. You are worth all the strength that me and the other men out there are pouring out onto you to build you up. And now I want you to try to step out and do the same thing for your brothers around you. Nothing else makes much sense. Conduct yourself in an honorable manner. Carry your head high and sacrifice your time and energy for something greater. The needs of the man or woman next door to you, the people that sit next to you at the coffee shop or your place of worship. We only live once. So are we going to waste our time trying to focus on the stupidity, the absolute idiocy of all the ists and isms that tell us what they want us to do? I'm not. I'm far too enamored with the beauty of life itself. Far too enamored to waste all that time with all that nonsense. I have a wife and a son, friends, family, and people that I love. My friends, the time has come to rebuild the idea of earning respect by surrendering respect to others. And just so you know, it's gonna hurt. You're going to get bloodied up a bit. People are going to slap you in the face, tear you apart with words, hate you because your life shines like a beacon of truth in the darkness. Are you going to go quietly into the night? Are you afraid of the verbal onslaughts? Afraid of physical danger to yourself? Don't try to kid yourself. Someday you're going to end up in the ground just like me. In between now and then, we get to feel a few heartbeats and take a few breaths. How are you going to use your mind, your body? How are you going to live this life? I'm going to do the best I can to learn how to sacrifice myself for the people around me. If you want to do that too, then you get a hold of me. We should talk. You can get a hold of us at Thumos Radio at, what is it? What is the email?
You have a choice now of either fan mail at thumosradio.com or hate mail at thumosradio.com.
Yeah, that's right. Now I want you guys, after I read this statement, I want you to tell me what you're feeling after something like that. Because this isn't something that was just born into my mind. This is something that I've learned from countless discussions online with people, countless discussions with people in real life. I want to know what you feel about this kind of personality, this kind of right-wise man, a person that doesn't live according to titles, because we love playing pretend in America today. We love titles, and we love screwing around with people's lives and liberties. What do you guys think about this?
Can't describe a man by what you're going to call him, because they're all different. And when you go out there and you try to label someone, put a label on them, it devalues them.
Mm-hmm.
That person's more value, like you said. There's value there. And it's important that as men, you feel valued, and that you feel like there is a reason for me to be here as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel the feminists have taken that away. They're like, we don't need you men. We don't need it. We can do it all on our own. But then again, they'll turn around 6 months later and go, where was that man? Well, you locked him in the closet.
Well, see, here's what I'm curious about, is because we've spoken about the men's rights movement, and we've spoken about men going their own way, and how men say that all women are like that and all of that crap. But let's face facts. They're doing the exact same thing that feminists are doing.
Yep.